faithfully delivering value, interpreting great books from around the world. Hello, this is Sally's Book Talk. Today, I'll be interpreting the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Families, for you. Every family has its struggles. Constant overtime makes work-life balance nearly impossible. Rebellious teens love defying parents, and multi-generational households breed constant friction. So how do we solve these issues and build strong, loving family bonds?
The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Families holds the answers.
Author Dr. Stephen Covey was named among 25 most influential Americans by Time, who called him human potential's mentor. The Economist hailed him as the most forward-thinking management philosopher. Dr. Covey made significant contributions to leadership, management, and relationship fields. His single quote, "The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People," was named by Forbes among history's top 10 management books. Published across 70 countries in 32 languages, yet as father of 9 and grandfather to 50, he cherished his Father of the Year award most. He adapted his 7 Habits framework to family life, creating this book, dubbed the Family Bible after publication. Covey defines family effectiveness as shared vision, mutual support, and nurturing culture. The book guides internal transformation to build loving relationships and healthy dynamics. Now let's explore all 7 habits. Be proactive, begin with the end in mind, put first things first, think win-win, seek first to understand, synergize, sharpen the saw. First habit, be proactive. When triggered, we often react passively, saying things we don't mean and regretting actions later. Imagine planning a romantic dinner only for your husband to cancel last minute due to overtime. The wife responds with angry accusations, leaving both hurt and disconnected. Being proactive means acting based on principles and values, not reacting passively based on emotions or situations. In the earlier example where the husband canceled due to overtime, if the wife's principle is to understand and support his work, she can more easily accept that he couldn't make it calmly, whether she likes it or not. Meanwhile, the husband feels understood and cared for. Acting on principles and values helps us make wise responses, guiding relationships toward positive development. So, how do we cultivate the habit of being proactive? The first method is to pause before acting. When something happens, don't rush to respond. Stop, think about your principles and values, then reply. There's a case in the book. A mother comes home and finds her 3.5-year-old son spilled water all over the floor.
At that moment, her first instinct is to yell at him and even spank him.
But she didn't do that. She paused before acting and started to reflect. She realized the most important thing isn't cleaning the floor, but teaching the child to understand the situation first when problems arise. Based on this principle, she held back her anger and patiently asked, "Sweetie, what were you trying to do?" After some questioning, she discovered the child was trying to help her wash dishes, which caused the mess. So the mother then guided him step by step on how to wash dishes without making a mess and how to clean the floor.
At that critical moment, this mother took proactive action, nurturing the child's goodwill and desire to help others.
The second method to cultivate proactive habits is to change yourself first, then influence others. There are always dissatisfying things in life, like kids playing with fire in the kitchen or husbands showing no Valentine's Day gestures. Instead of complaining about naughty kids or inconsiderate husbands, focus on what we can influence or change. Think about what we ourselves can do. For example, if a child plays with fire, we can help them understand the consequences and set rules for using flames. Another example, if a husband shows no Valentine's gesture, we can prepare a thoughtful gift for him first, demonstrating the romantic interaction we desire. The third method to cultivate proactive habits is to establish an emotional bank account. Our family relationships are like a bank account. When we take positive actions to build trust and love, it's like making deposits. When we take negative actions that reduce trust and love, it's like making withdrawals. So this emotional account determines how effectively we communicate and solve problems together. There are many ways to make deposits. Showing kindness in small daily gestures, admitting mistakes frankly and apologizing sincerely. Being loyal by avoiding backbiting criticism, keeping promises, practicing forgiveness, and so on. Though methods vary, they all follow three common principles. First, acceptance, not rejection. Focusing on someone's flaws is rejection. Acceptance means embracing the whole person, flaws included. Second, understanding, not judgment. Declaring others wrong without first listening is judgment. Understanding means hearing them out first. Third, participation, not control. Forcing actions for their own good is control. Participation means advising without interfering. We've covered the first habit, being proactive, the foundational mindset shift. Once we take responsibility, the second habit shows us what direction to strive toward. Begin with the end in mind means defining goals before acting, like drawing blueprints before building or writing scripts before performing. Goals prevent us from getting lost. For families, the deepest application is creating a family mission statement. This statement is a shared vision co-created by all members. Family goals, guiding principles, and mutual responsibilities. So how do we create one? The author outlines 2 steps. First, discuss the mission statement to understand each member's perspectives. What are our family goals? What do we want our family to embody? What are our responsibilities? How will we communicate, interact, and resolve conflicts? When discussing these issues, remember every family member matters. Ensure everyone gets a chance to speak. Also, listen respectfully to both positive and negative thoughts. No judgment or blame, letting everyone express freely. Only when everyone participates does it become a shared family mission statement worth defending together. The second step is drafting the statement. Record all ideas, then refine and synthesize them. For example, one family statement says, "We're a family serving each other and society." When someone needs help, this reminds them to generously lend a hand. Another family statement states, "Always resolve conflicts, never harbor resentment." When conflicts arise, this reminds them not to stay silent, speak up, and find solutions. To ensure everyone internalizes it, print copies or frame the statement for display at home. Hang it on the most prominent wall. Of course, the statement isn't set in stone. We can and should adjust it through experience. If you created one as a couple, revise it when children arrive. As they grow, incorporate new perspectives. Creating the statement is just the start. Implementing it matters most. Now let's cover the third habit of highly effective families. Put first things first. Since family is life's most important work, prioritize it over other urgencies. Though most acknowledge family's importance, many prioritize work, friends, or hobbies. So how do we truly put family first? The author suggests 2 methods. First, reserve weekly family time. During this time, we can plan the week together and discuss what each family member will do next week. Arrange shared learning sessions, tackle common issues together, make plans, share meals, do crafts, simply enjoy each other's company. Family time doesn't need elaborate content. What matters is committing to weekly dedicated moments together, prioritizing family above all. The second method, establish one-on-one bonding time between members, whether partners or parent-child, where undivided attention shows deepest care. The author and his wife reserve daily alone time, away from kids, work, and distractions, just being together, talking or doing things. His married friends hire babysitters every Friday night for several hours of couple time. And they dine out, watch movies, or go driving, all to strengthen their bond and prevent drifting apart due to kids or work.
Beyond couples, one-on-one time between a parent and each child is equally vital.
Parents might read together, explore places, or do crafts with the child. During this time, kids can freely discuss anything. Complaints, grumbles, all welcomed. Parents simply listen. These weekly family sessions and one-on-one moments require dedicated scheduling. So how do we make time? Key is advanced planning, blocking time for family, bonding sessions, and other true priorities. For example, each school year he requests detailed activity schedules, son's football games, daughter's performances from their school. Frequent travel means he needs early notice to reserve time for key events. All right, we've covered the first 3 habits of highly effective families. Habit 1, be proactive, is the core guiding principle. It determines whether we proactively solve problems or passively complain when faced with issues. Number 2, begin with the end in mind is the macro strategy. It guides us toward what goals and directions to strive for. Number 3, put first things first, is the practical tactic. It ensures we steadily move toward our goals in real life. The family culture from these 3 habits acts like an engine, giving endless drive to make us more purposeful and powerful. The next 3 habits, think win-win, seek first to understand, synergize, help remove obstacles and tackle challenges better. Let's start with the 4th habit, think win-win. Our society pushes competition. People always want to win. In families, it's similar. Kids demand TV. Parents push homework. Wife suggests a cleaner. Husband calls it wasteful. When opinions clash, everyone fights to dominate, stuck in a win-lose trap. But no one wants to lose. Long-term competitiveness or self-sacrifice breaks relationships. Only win-win builds lasting family bonds. Family win-win shifts from personal wins to family wins. Family win-win ensures every member becomes a winner. One way to cultivate win-win thinking is shifting focus from personal scores to team scores. The book shares a case. After 2 elders died, they left some inheritance. Siblings grew tense, fighting over who got more inheritance. Luckily, one son stepped forward. He proposed listing all items first. With head count and items, each could pick 5 things. Then he had each choose their favorite 5. He stressed their goal was family unity, not the inheritance. They gathered out of love for the elders and each other. They aimed for every item to serve its best purpose. He urged no one to leave until all were happy, reminding them of their love for the elders and shared duty. If 2 wanted the same thing, one might say, I really want it too, but I know it matters more to you. I truly hope it's yours. And just like that, everyone calmly divided the inheritance. What could have been an inheritance dispute became a tribute honoring the elder's memory. Beyond shifting focus from individual to collective, creating win-win agreements is another effective method. Win-win agreements should include desired outcomes, guidelines, resources, accountability measures, and consequences. These 5 elements are illustrated through a family's clothing management agreement. The desired outcome is maintaining a clean, organized environment for everyone. Guided by handle your own responsibilities, kids wash, dry, store clothes without messing, and keep closets tidy. Resources include personal storage units and reimbursed laundry services for bulky items. A lost and found bin collects stray items throughout the house. Every Sunday evening, the family reviews compliance and assesses accountability, consequences, allowance based on performance, with redemption fees from allowance for items in the bin. This agreement uses rules and incentives to make everyone winners. Kids develop tidiness habits without complaining about allowance. Parents stay calm, even when standards slip. That covers habit 4, think win-win, and how to sustain it. We need habit 5, seek first to understand, meaning prioritize understanding others before seeking to be understood. It teaches, understand others first, then gain their understanding. Most family conflicts stem from lack of understanding. We often judge and respond based on our own experiences, making others feel unheard. Example, a daughter tells her mom, all my friends are dating, but your rules forbid me. It's isolating. There's this guy who's asked me out several times. If I reject him again, he might never talk to me again, and other guys might gossip about me. Mom responded, don't worry, no one will ignore you. Stick to your beliefs, don't care what others say. They're talking about you. Actually, they admire you for standing your ground. This mother is judging and giving advice based on her own experiences and mindset. She's actually seeking her daughter's understanding, not trying to understand her daughter. As a result, the daughter finally starts to listen. After hearing her mother's response, she stopped talking. So, how do we understand others? The key is for the listener to step outside their own experiences and mindset. Understand the speaker's feelings and mindset by stepping into their shoes. A specific technique is called reflective responding. The listener sees themselves as a faithful interpreter, restating the key points of what the other person said in their own words. In this earlier case, the mother could respond. The family rule says you can't date yet, but all your friends are dating. That puts you in a bind, right? And the daughter might say, yes, that's exactly what I mean. Or, not quite.
What I'm really worried about is when I meet a boy I like in the future, I won't know how to act. Others are learning how to interact with boys they like, but I'm not.
At this point, the mother can continue with reflective responding. You're worried that when the time comes, you won't know what to do. Is that it? Reflective responding not only helps the mother understand her daughter's true thoughts and feelings, but also allows the daughter to open up safely. In fact, the process of opening up is also a process of self-reflection layer by layer. Through this process, the daughter's thoughts become clearer, enabling her to better harness her own abilities to solve problems. Having covered how to understand others, next we'll talk about the other half of Seek First to Understand, how to gain others' understanding of ourselves. Well, the key here is how we give feedback, meaning how we express our own thoughts and feelings. For example, if a husband leaves dirty clothes and smelly socks everywhere, or ignores people while gaming, how should we talk to him to gain his understanding? And first, feedback must be helpful to the other person, and we should choose language and methods they can accept. For example, I love you, but I dislike this behavior where you throw dirty clothes and smelly socks around. I dislike it. First, affirm the other person to build a relationship for effective communication. Another example, if a husband who never cooks makes a feast for the family, even if it's not tasty, we shouldn't criticize right away, especially publicly. We should first thank and praise him, and when he's ready, offer constructive feedback. Second, when giving feedback, focus on the specific behavior, not the person. For instance, we can say, you're leaving dirty clothes and smelly socks all over, but don't call them messy or lazy. We can say, you ignore others when gaming, but don't call them cold or selfish. Criticizing a specific behavior is different from attacking the whole person, which makes them feel attacked. Finally, when giving feedback, focus more on expressing your own feelings. For instance, seeing dirty clothes and smelly socks scattered on the sofa makes me feel upset. It saddens me when you ignore others while gaming. Expressing your feelings rather than judging reduces communication hostility. Now that we've covered Habit 5, Seek First to Understand, let's discuss Habit 6 of Highly Effective Families. Synergize involves respecting differences, leveraging them for creative collaboration to achieve synergy where 1 + 1 equals more than 2. Synergy has two forms. First is innovative, where we blend the essence of differences to create something entirely new. We don't need to pick between two choices. We can seek a third or fourth alternative. For instance, while shopping at a furniture store, a couple sees a new sofa. The husband really wants it because he's embarrassed about not having a proper sofa at home. The wife doesn't want it because they recently bought a house and have hefty mortgage payments, and the sofa is beyond their budget. So they talk about how to get a good sofa without overspending. Later, at a thrift store, they pick a sofa that suits their style and budget. Though a bit worn, the husband says he can refinish the wooden parts. The wife said she could make a brand new sofa cover with spare fabric at home. So instead of being stuck between buying or not buying, they created a new solution and got a decent sofa without choosing between extremes. Both parties' needs were met, resolving differences while strengthening their bond. The second form of synergy is complementary collaboration. It requires leveraging our strengths while actively using others' strengths to compensate for our weaknesses. Of course, this requires strong self-awareness to recognize our shortcomings. For example, a husband might excel at big picture thinking, while the wife thrives in logical, structured planning. In budgeting, he handles long-term strategy. She manages daily expenses. When writing together, he develops concepts and frameworks while she organizes content and drafts. And through synergy, they maximize each other's strengths. All right, we've now covered habits 4, 5, and 6 of highly effective families. Habit 4. Think win-win is the foundational mindset. It guides shifting from personal wins to family wins. Habit 5. Seek first to understand is the pathway. It teaches. Understand others before seeking to be understood. 6. Synergize is the solution. Respecting differences to achieve 1 + 1 greater than 3. The family culture from these habits acts like an immune system, fighting criticism, blame, and toxic competition. And this conflict resolution ability is like antibodies. Under their protection, families avoid major crises. Finally, habit 7, sharpen the saw, helps sustain all previous habits. Cars break down without maintenance. Bodies get sick without care. Relationships drift without effort. Neglect guarantees decay, and families are no exception.
Thus, we must invest time and energy to keep families continually renewed.
Beyond strengthening family bonds, the author stresses cultivating social responsibility and service awareness. This means contributing to society within our family's capacity, helping relatives in need, participating in community donations.
For example, promoting waste sorting at neighborhood committees, teaching skills at orphanages, donating books and clothes.
During the pandemic, some couples joined volunteer teams, one doing community awareness campaigns, the other assisting with temperature checks. These activities strengthen family bonds, create belonging, deepen relationships, and teach family meaning and responsibility. All right, that covers most of the 7 habits of highly effective families. The author reminds us, whatever we do at home, remember the miracle of bamboo. For 4 years after planting, you only see a tiny sprout. Nothing else seems to happen.
But in the 5th year, bamboo suddenly shoots up 24 meters tall.
Because during those 4 years, its roots spread underground, gathering nutrients to fuel explosive growth. Much in family life is like this. We invest time and effort, sometimes seeing no results for weeks, months, even years. But with patience and persistence, we'll reap beautiful relationships. So, the 7 habits. That concludes our interpretation of this book. Reading notes are below the audio. See you next time.